Hey everybody, welcome back. I am touring around the Ice Age State Park. It's a little windy today, so probably just going to be a bunch of voiceovers. But we are around the corner from where I used to live, on the very edge of Las Vegas, the very edge of Las Vegas. There's nothing out here other than a gun range and newer development. It is windy. Windy. It sucks. Well, not that windy, but it's just enough to be annoying. So these are the Sheep Mountain Range. I always love the desolation out here. It's just breathtaking. That's the gun range up there. Pew, pew, pew. Oh, this is me after a Chinese buffet. A big Colombian mammoth. Because I ate too many egg rolls. So I was just sitting with the scientists over there for a hot second. They're doing a trivia round, and they had a lecture earlier that I missed, just barely. But it's cute. And probably if you have nothing better to do on a Saturday morning, I would suggest coming and doing that. They're really nice people. Very, very knowledgeable. So if you're in Vegas off of Decatur and Grand Teton, Elkhorn area, I think, go check them out. So we're walking down one of the longer trails now. Gonna go check some shit out. Oh, there she goes, swearing again. Saying the bad words. Ooh, look at this. Failure to comply will result in citation. So don't pick up shit. Dispose of trash properly. Pets must always be on leash. That goes for you puppies and your masks. So hiking only and stay on the trail, you weirdo. I actually used to live out here when I first moved to Las Vegas back in 2007. I was escaping a particularly bad situation with a former lover of mine. And, I was living in Albuquerque, New Mexico for about 3 years, I want to say. And I just moved there from Santa Fe. And I grew up in a small town just north of there called Los Alamos. And if you watch that movie Oppenheimer, you probably know exactly what I'm saying. But, it was what it was. It was a very toxic, watertight situation in my early to mid-20s, and it just dissolved. It was a mutual breakup at one point, and I moved here to Las Vegas. And I thought I was moving to, fucking fun Las Vegas. There's all sorts of shit to do. Let's go do all the things, go to all the gay bars, and be a hussy. And that was not the case, because I wound up here. So this is the waterfall subdivision out here, this little area. And I lived About a block or two over, but you know, this is the end of town, quite literally. I mean, look, the next stop is quite literally Mesquite once you head down the 215 and connect with the I-15. Like, barren, nothing, no one, no bars, no clubs, nothing. But this gorgeous view, it really is pretty. So as you can see, I was stuck out here with the parental units. They were kind enough to help me get away from that situation. And I went to Le Cordon Bleu in 2007 to 2008. Decided to do something with my life because, you know, Le Cordon Bleu is all over the place with their advertising. And I didn't go to college right out of high school because, as usual, somebody in my situation, you know, high school was incredibly cruel and full of bullies and douchebags and people who thought they were something. Really, they were just a bunch of proto-Karens and, you know, high school typical jocks. And, you know, and there was the extremely nerdy kind, very, very smart, but also very, very rude. And my best friend at the time, this guy named Nathan, you know, we hung out all the time, and, you know, but in the end, he turned out to be somewhat bigoted and somebody in my lifestyle, you know, that just did not mix. I don't know what he's like nowadays. I hear he's got kids and, you know, living a good life and has a wife, and which is good for him, you know. Can't hold grudges forever. And we did have good times when we were kids, but, you know, to all things there is a time and an end, and ours was then. And speaking of which, my last video, I was talking about how I was going to go on the road, and, you know, we're going to do the van life thing. And it seems like that's going to be moved into overdrive because yesterday I got a notice slipped unceremoniously into my door that they are raising the rent $950. And by April 1st, they want me to sign a lease for 12 months. You know, and I've been paying like $675. I've been really flying under the radar. One of the last people in this town to really get that kind of deal. And because I was helping the landlady after her husband passed away, you know, this old gentleman by the name of Bob, and worked with my father in the real estate industry here at the time. But so it is what it is. I've been to this place for 8 years, and it's time to move on. I'm not going to pay rent like that. It's highway robbery for what is a slum, for lack of a better word. It is a slum. And like, there's black mold, the paint's falling off. I'm pretty sure there's a dead hooker on the floorboards somewhere. You know, so I hope they renovate it and get all their little LA bucks out of it that they want. But I'm leaving. We're getting on a converted bus or an RV or something, just driving the hell away, because I can't do it anymore. I love Las Vegas. Like I said, it's a good time. It's been fun. It's been very real. And like I said in my last video, certainly have very good friends out here, and, you know, I'll definitely be back a lot, but living here, not so much. I think my time is actually drawing to an end. By the way, if you're wondering why you can hear me breathing so hard, it's kind of a complication from that blasted coronavirus. Among other things, like, I am a little bit out of shape. Well, not that much. I work out all the time. I go to the gym. But, you know, I have a disability. I have a rare genetic blood clotting factor that messed up my right leg. Not once, but twice. So, blood thinners the rest of my life. And, yeah, I help it out with a little bit of vodka here and there. I'm gonna stay real thin. But the rest of me, you know, not so much. However, today we're getting our steps in. Ooh, the wind is back. It is back. which is all right because I was kind of getting a little hot with this scarf that I have on. We're gonna march our little happy ass over here to this first placard and turn around because Dobby, the disabled house elf here, just can't go too far. I went out last night after I got that notice and had a few cocktails, so this hike is a little bit more on the grueling side than it normally should be, but this is what I get for doing this crap. So I wanted to go down there, but I'm running out of steam, so I'm going to turn around and go back. But before I do that, this area right here is where a lot of excavation and digging took place some number of years ago, where they found a lot of fossils from the Ice Age, hence the Ice Age Park, mammoth bones, buffalo, all sorts of megafauna hiding right out in this area. And they continue to find some to this day near this alluvial fan underneath the Sheep Mountain Range. And which, by the way, if you 4x4, you can go all the way up and around on a road called Mormon Well Road. It will take you back down and around to the I-15.
So the audio got a bit dodgy there with the wind. But another YouTuber that I know, that I went to my Zion trip with, recently went across the Mormon Well Road from end to end, all the way from the 11 to the 15. So I will link that video here at the end. I suggest you check it out. He does a great 4x4 channel.
We're going to let the camera do the walking for us again. Does that say pull my finger? That's the VA hospital all the way down there. Okay, so we're going to head back now. And I can't talk in the direct wind, otherwise not be able to hear me at all. So
another side note, the person that I was talking about, the former lover in New Mexico, not to disparage him because he has moved on with his life and he has a great husband he's been married to for much longer than we were together. And I wish them both a happy and long life. You know, like I said, we can't hold grudges forever. There's just no use. So go have a cocktail and go out in nature. Have some fun.
Thank God for this bench. Oh, have mercy.
So another side note, I believe this particular piece of artwork was made out of found and recycled things. And it was also featured in Burning Man at one point, I believe. So if you recognize that piece of art, it really is something to see up close. I suggest check it out.
Okay, we're finally back in the car in Blue Ella here after our little trip around the park. It's a nice walk, but it's very blustery out here this morning. I think the rest of the country is getting that massive snowstorm and being buried tits deep. So it's just windy and we're drowning in sunlight here in Vegas. So that's why I live out here for now. So thanks for joining me for my little trip to Ice Age State Park. I'll see you next time.